Hey dudes, you might notice I have a kind of a change of scenery here. I just finally got my console, Toft ATB32. I was kind of looking for months and months and months. It kind of consumed my life just finding the right console, and I kind of debated between a bunch of them. The Tofts were in there, although I was kind of leaning, I was actually trying to find like a cheaper SSL, yeah, right, or a Neve or something like that, and it kind of bounced around. Some of the Orion stuff looked really cool, and ultimately I settled on the ATB32 here. At first I kind of thought the Tofts were a little bit too practical. I wanted something just crazy. On eBay there was that AMIC that was like 16 foot wide and recorded like Poison and George Clinton and all these guys, and I kind of said, well, over time I figured out that if it wouldn't fit in my room, then it's probably not worth knocking a wall down just for the console. So anyway, I went with the ATB32, and it turned out to be an endeavor way bigger than I expected. And I say this is practical. I mean, I'm yanking off the screen door and buying $160 dollies just to get it in here and things like that. And this is just like a 150-pound console. A lot of those AMICs and Neves and stuff weigh 700-800 pounds. So from a practicality standpoint, this was definitely the way to go. And I guess I can always work my way up to something just ridiculous, but as far as I'm concerned right now, this is pretty ridiculous. And I just spent 30 days wiring this freaking thing. I don't know if you can see it in this picture now, but I've got 4 96-point TT patch bays, and man, I underestimated the workload I was looking at. When you think about every solder point, it's 96 points, but then there's 3 wires because it's balanced for each point, so you're looking at close to 300 solder joints per patch bay, and it ends up getting crazy when you have to factor in every snake and all that stuff. So if you're thinking about going the console, think twice. I'm not saying don't do it, just make sure you have a free month to get it all working and reinstalled, and I had it all set up working pretty cool, and then my meter bridge came in, which is on back order, and you see the meter bridge back there. It required me to take the console and flip it over, which is no easy task, and I'm used to kind of flying solo here, and I'd have my brother come over and help me flip it over, and we did, took out a million screws and just to install the ribbon thing. And the newer consoles don't have that problem. They're already wired from the factory, where all you gotta do is put the little ribbon gadgets in the back, but this was a slightly older model, so that was a mega issue. But and one thing bad about the console, I decided, okay, well, I've got me a nice console, which has pretty good preamps in it. They're certainly not bad by any means. But I was like, well, if I'm going to go all out on the console, I might as well get me some preamps too. So, like an idiot, I just spent a fortune on all this stuff. You can see I got an API 3124, and then under that it's a Wunder PAFour, which this kind of sums it up how awful this whole month has been for me. I bought that thing almost a month ago, and I have not recorded a single freaking track with it. My month is shot. But anyway, going back to here, then I got a Focusrite ISA428, and followed then my mainly TNT, which I've had for a while. After buying those things, I said, okay, well, that's pretty good, but let's just go all out. And so then you can see here, I bought 2 Apogee DA-16x's and 1 AD-16x. So I basically went full-blown, what do they say on that the Tropic Thunder movie, full retard? That's pretty much that was designed for me this month. So I've did some massive studio investments. The console has been an awesome thing. For one, it looks pretty damn cool. I'm really happy to move that a little bit. I'm really happy the way it looks. The look thing, was a tricky deal. Like from one side of me that couldn't care less, and then this newfound side of me is kind of like, well, this will impress the clients. And I don't know if I can. I'm jacking my rates up, so one way or another, we'll see if this is a good idea or not. But I'm really excited to see about this whole summing business. The analog summing things, which you hear online, are never really that impressive. But then somebody will make some stipulation. Well, you got to push it hard, or you want it to distort a little bit. Well, we'll see about all of that, because I'm going to try all of it, and of course I'll post the clips here and record and review. One thing I am excited about, I've always been a huge advocate of this using one mic on like a guitar amp, and you do hear stories about guys blending multiple amps and doing it all into one track. There's no way I would ever record a guitar with 5 mics even and 5 separate tracks. That's just ridiculous. You can read old stories I'm sure you guys are dying to get the Creed sound, but I think it was the second Creed album where they had like 10 guitar mics and they recorded each one. Screw all that. I want to sum to one channel, commit to that one sound that I like, and move on from there. So there are a few functional things, but really, nowadays, that's the thing too I wanted to point out is so often when young guys are getting started, they think they want to get a little bitty mixer. They think you're supposed to. And in like 94, you were, right? You were supposed to. Well, the computers have changed everything, and now this whole mixer thing is more of a novelty thing, more of an extra. It definitely has its place, and there's some advantages to it. But as far as being essential and one of the things you should ever get, like the first decade you're recording, no way. I would totally recommend just holding off. I did, and even now, I mean, the functional benefits. I got EQ on every channel, analog EQ, which I'm big on these days, and a handful, zero latency monitoring and things like that. But overall, it's not anything I didn't have before on at least some level. So definitely not a life changer if that's what you're thinking. So hesitate a little bit before you get the console, unless it is some kind of businessy kind of client impressing kind of doodad. Let's see what else I got here on my I'm talking about the meter bridge real quick. I suspect that Toft has a deal with Playboy, because if you look at the, not that I've ever seen naked chicks online or anything, but they're always so airbrushed and fake and perfect, and I have to think that they hired their Photoshop guy for their meter bridge, because you go to their website and it looks like laser ray guns are bouncing up and down. Let's see. Let me restart this real quick. Here, watch. No, I guess it's going. See? All right. It looks like laser ray guns, and I don't know if you can see these here, but these are just like LEDs. It's the same thing as on the subgroups there. So, in other words, when you pay $750 for and you're expecting ray guns, and all you get is little LEDs, it was a little disappointing. And in the end, it's a pretty cool gadget, and I don't know, but I was expecting ray guns. So I'm really kind of ticked that Toft put a fake picture. If you're going to buy the meter bridge, don't expect it to look like that, because it's not near that cool. And it's probably one of those things where if you've never seen the Toft website and you saw this, you go, "Hey, cool, it's a meter bridge." But definitely, I would be a little leery. What else are they hiding on that Toft site? Let's see what else we got. Discovering, summing, multi-mic summing. All right, I guess that's it. Well, anyway, I've got my new console. Wasted a fortune, and hopefully I won't starve to death, which I guess is no real concern right now. But anyhow, rah!